Please begin on the floor or bed in a supine position, laying comfortably. So breathing in through the nose for a count of 4 or 6. And then for today's class, we're going to practice extending that exhale a little longer than the inhale. So allowing that exhale to be 2 counts longer than your inhale. So as you're lying on the floor, feeling the support of Mother Earth rising up to meet you, allow this next minute to be truly focused on the counting of your inhalations and exhalations. Feeling how the hands rise with the inhale, how the hands descend toward the spine with the exhale. Today's practice is centered around the theme of befriending our bodies, befriending ourselves. Life has a way of making us hard on ourselves. We tend to criticize, compare, and focus on what feels wrong rather than celebrating what's right. And when we're experiencing ongoing physical, mental, or emotional pain, it's easy to feel disconnected from our bodies, to see them as something to fix or endure rather than as an ally. As we enter the new year, this practice invites us to pause and reflect on the way we treat ourselves. So often, New Year's resolutions are rooted in the belief that we are not enough. What if, instead, we flipped the script? What if we chose to honor our bodies for all they do for us, the ways they carry us, heal us, and help us navigate this world? Today, let's reconnect with our bodies as trusted companions. Let's use movement, breath, and intention to cultivate kindness, gratitude, and self-love. Stay in connection to that deep, loving breath. Maybe it can be expanded by a count as you have strengthened this focus upon it. We'll give ourselves about 10 more breaths here. And as you connect into that flow of oxygen, take a moment to notice the rhythm of the inhale and exhale. Feel the weight of your body fully supported by Mother Earth. And in these last few moments here, begin to bring into mind an intention for yourself. Listen to your body. What message does it have for you? Three, four more breaths here, listening into that kind statement of intention coming from your body. Take a big, big, deep breath in. Let's do 3 open mouth exhales. Vocalizing that exhale as you let it go. Twice more, big inhale. Feeling any tension Release with that exhale. Ah, beautiful. Now we'll begin to do a little bit of windshield wipering with the knees. So bring the knees high, feet are about hip width or wider apart, and begin to slowly move the knees side to side. The hips stay connected to the mat. The shoulders stay in one spot. Maybe rock the head in the opposite direction of the knees, beginning to release tension in the body, but also activate the cerebellum of the brain, helping to bring balance into our lives physically, mentally, and emotionally. Begin to feel how you can connect this movement with your breath. So you're moving slowly with intention, awareness, letting the breath lead the movement. We'll be here for about 4 more breaths. Anytime during class, if you feel like you've got a little extra, you're ready to release, go ahead and bring that open mouth exhale back into play. Three more breaths here. And when you're ready, come back to center. Pause for a moment. Check inwardly to that inner landscape. What shifts have you already started to create within? Now we'll take it into spinal rocking. So the feet stay glued on the mat. Knees are high. And we're rocking the entire body up and down the mat. So you feel the connection of your skin on the earth. And there's a slight pull or tugging on the skin. This is helping to align our spine, but it's also helping to flush the lymph nodes of the body while releasing tension as well. Keep the breath beautifully long. Maybe even begin to bring your inner focus, your inner drishti to the point between the eyebrows. 2 more breaths here. After you finish this next exhale, come into pause and feel. Feeling the vibration, the sparkle that comes from that movement. And we'll do that for 2 more rounds now. So coming back into the spinal rocking. Really let that body rock itself out. Any rocking motions is super beneficial for our nervous system. It's a very nurturing movement for the body, helping the body and the brain to know that it's safe. Be here for about 3 more breaths. And when you're ready, go ahead and let that go. Come back to stillness. Feeling the vibrations within. All right, let's do that one more time. Really let the head move with the movement. Use this to your advantage, releasing that tension that maybe just doesn't want to release. Focusing anywhere within the body that needs that little extra love, that little extra attention. 3 more breaths here. Open mouth exhale if that feels good. And when you're ready, let that go. Come back to stillness. Checking into your inner landscape. What shifts are already occurring? All right, let's grab for that strap. We're going to wrap the strap around the ball of the left foot. Grabbing the strap in both hands, we're going to slide our hands down so that the elbows and shoulders are connected to the earth. Your choice here with the right leg. You can keep the right leg bent or you can lengthen the right leg long. We're going to open up the hamstring here. So we'll begin by exhaling as we pull that foot gently inwards towards the body. As we inhale, we let that leg come back a little bit. So there's a slight micro movement here as you breathe. Again, the breath leading the movement. We'll do 3 more rounds of the micro movement, helping to warm up the muscle, the joint. Last round with micro movements. And then we'll draw that leg in towards the body, hold it there, keep the breath nice and long. Breathe into the hip, push the hips into the mat, lift the heel towards the sky. So this is called dynamic tension when we're pressing in 2 different directions, the hips into the mat, the heel towards the sky. This helps to strengthen the bones as well as release toxins in the lymph nodes. So keep with that for the next 2 breaths. Big breaths. And when you're ready, go ahead, release, let that foot slowly come on down. Let's take a break. You can come into Supine Baddha Konasana, knees open up wide, feet together, straight legs or knees high. Just relax for a moment to feel inwardly. And we'll come on to the other side. Wrapping that strap around the foot, coming into the micro movement of pulling the leg towards you with the exhale. Inhale, release that movement. Going at your own pace. Befriending your body. Our bodies do so much for us, but it's so easy to get angry or upset with them when they're not acting the way that we anticipate or want them to. How can we appreciate all that they do for us more? 2 more rounds of this micro movement. And then we'll come into holding the pose, breathing into the opening as you press the hip down while lifting the heel at the same time. Big breaths. If you've maybe lost connection with the 4 count inhale and a 6 count exhale, or whatever count, make sure that you're still trying to keep that exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. 2 more breaths here. Beautiful. Go ahead and release that leg on down. Come back to pause for a moment. What shifts are happening in the backs of the legs, the hips. And then we're going to come back to that original side. So coming back to the left side again, placing that strap around the base of the foot. That right knee is high, and we're going to come into the inner groin. So the strap now comes into the left hand. Slowly, with intention and awareness, start to open that left leg out to the left. If you like, you can straighten that right leg long. If the right leg is straight, pretend that you're standing on that right foot. So that right foot is really active. That helps to give stabilization to the pose. Maybe rock that left leg up and down a little bit, giving it a little bit more movement, helping the hip to open a little bit more. Big breaths. One more breath here. And then exhale, pull the belly towards the spine to bring that foot back to center. Now we're going to come into the ITB, the iliotibial band on the outside of the left hip. Bring the strap into the right hand and draw that left foot about 10 degrees over the center of your body. And then you should start to feel an opening starting to come into play on the outside of that left hip. Big breaths into that opening that you are creating for you. Two more breaths here. And then we'll take it into the full twist, keeping the strap in the right hand. Slowly drop that right leg over to, or left leg over to the right. And if you like, looking out over that left arm, the left arm comes into a T. Twists are a great place to release the toxins. So the bigger the breath here, the bigger that exhale, the more you give your body the opportunity to release anything that's no longer serving you. Two more breaths here. When you're ready, pull the belly button towards the spine, draw yourself back to center. Let's release the strap, come back to your neutral stance, whether it be supine Baddha Konasana, straight legs, or the knees staying high. Take a moment to check in. What's happening in your internal world? Beautiful. Let's come on to the other side. Strap around the right foot. Strap comes into the right hand, lengthening out through that left leg if you like. And then drawing the right leg open to the right. Our hips are the part of the body that tends to hold on to our stress, to our trauma, to our anger, our frustration, our sadness. So the bigger the breath, the more we allow the body to release that which isn't serving us anymore. Two more breaths here. When you're ready, pull the belly button towards the spine to bring the leg back to center. We're going to bring the strap into the left hand, and then the foot comes across the body by about 10 degrees, coming into the iliotibial band on the right hip. Press that hip into the mat as you lift the heel towards the sky. You are safe. You are loved. You are cherished. Come back to that intention. Come back to that long breath. One more big, big breath here. And then come into the full twist, dropping that right foot to the left, right arm into a T, maybe looking out over that right arm if it feels good for your neck. One more breath here. When you're ready, use your core to draw you back to center. Release the foot and come back into quiet for a breath. Feel all that loving energy you're creating within you. All right, we're going to come into a little nerve flossing now. So we're going to use that strap again. We're wrapping the left foot again. Shoulders, elbows, once again connected to the earth. Use that tension of the belt or strap to begin to let the knee bend. So you're pulling tension against the foot as that knee bends. We'll be here for 5 rounds. Keep that breath long. This is opening up the sciatic nerve. Make sure you're moving very slowly with loving intention. 2 more rounds here. Bringing this into your normal life, you can do this for 3 sets of 5 to 10 rounds, and it can help a lot with sciatic nerve pain. All right, let's come into the perineal nerve now. So we're going to come back into that 10-degree or so crossing of the left foot over the center of the body. The strap is again in both hands. Use the tension of the strap to again bend the knee and then straighten the leg. Again, 5 rounds. So this opens up the nerve that comes around the outside of the hip a little bit more than that first round of nerve flossing. 2 more rounds here. And then when you're ready, let that foot come on down. Take a moment to check back into your internal world. And then we'll come on to the other side for the nerve flossing. Strap around the right foot, create that tension, and then begin to bend the knee. Super slow. The slower, the better. Two more rounds. Beautiful. And when you're finished with 5 rounds, coming into the perineal. So crossing that leg and coming into the diagonal. Bending of the knee and straightening. And Chi Chi has come again, wants to say hi, as usual, towards our yoga classes. All right, when you're done with your 5 rounds, go ahead and release the strap. Place it off to the side. And take a moment to pause. What shifts are happening already for you in the hips, the lower body? And then we're going to come into some vinyasa bridge. So lift the knees high. Bring the heels so that they come towards the hips and the feet are about hip width apart. We're going to lift the hips and the hands together. As we come to the end, the hands finish at the floor above the head and the hips are as high as it feels good for you. So we'll do 10 rounds here. With the inhale, we lift the hips and the hands. Big inhale. As you exhale, you're melting down one vertebra at a time. I invite you to close the eyes here if that feels good for you. releasing the external focus and really truly coming into that internal world, your interoception. That ability within us to heal, to create our healthiest, happiest self. So we'll do about 6 more rounds here. Three more rounds. And last round. When you've come to fruition, rolling on to the left or right side of the body, pausing there for a moment. And when it feels right for you, rising up into a seated position. So we're going to be seated for a moment. If it doesn't feel good for you to be on a flat surface seated, you can bring a blanket underneath the hips to help the hips rise a little higher than the knees. And we're going to do what's called breath of joy. It's a little bit different. There's 2 versions of breath of joy. This is the upper body, say, breath of joy. It starts out with our hands together at prayer in the chest. We want to press the hands together with the inhale. With the exhale, we'll interlace the fingers and draw them in front of you. Your inhale brings the hands above. Your exhale draws the hands circling around you to interlace behind you. Draw the heart up with the next breath, pulling the hands towards the floor. And then the exhale brings us back to prayer. So we'll do 4 more rounds. Inhale, press the hands together. Exhale, draw those hands in front. Bow through the heart. Inhale, lift, lift, lift. Draw the hips into the mat as you lift the hands towards the sky. Exhale, hands circle. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, reach that heart towards the sky as you pull the hands down. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, press. Exhale, extend. Inhale, lift. Exhale, circle. Inhale, interlace, open the chest. Exhale, hands come back to center. 1 more round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Take pause. What are the shifts happening? All right. Let's draw our hands behind us again, interlace the fingers, and then draw the fingers over towards your left side of the body. So I'm going to turn around so you can see what my hands look like. So I'm bringing my hands over to the other side, and I'm keeping them there as I stretch my ear towards the side of where the hands are at. You should feel a big stretch in the side neck. Big breaths. This is where our vagus nerve attaches, and we also have a lot of lymph nodes in our neck area. So the bigger the breath, the more we're able to massage our vagus nerve as well as release toxins in these lymph nodes. When we massage our vagus nerve, we're strengthening our ability to relax and rejuvenate. One more breath here. Exhale, come back to center. We'll release the hands, draw the hands back to center. Take pause between sides. So that's a big shoulder opener. If it doesn't feel good for your shoulders, you can also just keep the hands on the earth. And that also will create a little bit of tension to open up the neck. All right, let's interlace the fingers. Opposite grip of last time. So you're going to feel the opposite finger on top. Then draw those hands to the other side and then come into the neck stretch. Breathe into the peace that resides within you at all times. The joy that's within you at all times. 3 more breaths here. Ready, go ahead and release. Come back to center. Let's take a pause, feeling into the shifts we've created for self. And then slowly, we'll come on to all fours. Moving that blanket off to the side for a moment, although we will need it again here in a second, so don't put it too far away. So let's start with cat-cow. Hands are underneath the shoulders, fingers spread super wide, knees are a little bit further back than the hips. Inhale, lifts the heart and the head towards the sky, belly button pushing towards the floor. Exhale, the belly button lifts towards the sky, round the head towards your heart, expressing gratitude to your body. Inhale, open. Exhale, bow in gratitude. 3 more rounds here. Last round. And now we're going to bring in child's pose. So we inhale, look up towards the sky. Exhale, melt back to child's pose. Knees are wide, toes touch. Our next inhale brings us back to all fours. Inhaling into cat, or cow, sorry. Exhale into child's pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child's pose. Twice more here. And let's pause for a moment in child's pose. Come back to our intention. Come back to that statement of befriending the body. Allow your awareness to travel from your feet to the hips, to the heart, to the top of the head. Feel into that love that resides within every cell of your body. And then slowly rise on up to be on your knees. I'm going to show you what we're going to do next real quick. It's your choice if you like to maybe give a little padding for the knees for this aspect of our class. So we'll be in child's pose. Knees are wide, toes together. That's the inhale. As we exhale, we're going to rise up. So that's the first part of our next series. And then that we'll go into that. So we come back to child's pose, and then we'll bring it into scooching along the earth. That's the second part. And when we do that, I want you to lower your heart down and then scooch. Okay? But I'll be talking us through that. All right, so let's bring ourselves back into child's pose. Knees wide, toes touch. Lengthening out towards the mat in front of you. Arms are long. Big inhale here. As you exhale, you rise onto the knees. Circle the arms. Lift your heart towards the sky. As you exhale, you're bowing towards yourself, wrapping the arms around you to touch the feet. Your inhale, you're rising back on up. So this is like a prayer to you, to your body. Feel how you can be prayer-like in this movement. We'll be here for 5 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Few more. Last one. And let's pause here in embryo, the hands wrapping around to touch the feet, the head rests on the ground. All right, coming into the second aspect, we'll go through 5 rounds of sliding the belly across the mat and then lifting. You have a choice here. You can lift onto the forearms into Sphinx, or if you like, you can lift into Cobra or Up Dog. On the exhale, we come back to Child's Pose. So inhale, slink on through. Feel that heart connected to the Mother Earth. Exhale, come back to your Child's Pose. 4 more rounds here. Two more. Last round. And we'll pause again in Child's Pose, coming back to your intention, coming back to your breath, feeling that love within you. All right, now we're going to combine the two. So we are going to, on our next inhale, rise on up onto the knees. Lift towards the sky. Feel your heart rise. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, all fours. Slink on through. Inhale, rise, Sphinx, Up Dog, or Cobra. Exhale, Child's Pose. Inhale, rise onto the knees. Exhale, slide through. Inhale, open the heart with your Cobra, Sphinx, or Up Dog. Exhale, Child's Pose. 3 more rounds. Using your breath as the guide. Feeling how much your body does for you. How much it will release that which no longer serves you. One more round here. And when you come back to child's pose, we'll meet here, pausing for a moment. If you have that blanket underneath you, you can scooch that out to the side and then slowly, with mindfulness, come onto the belly. And we'll do a little bit of nerve flossing here. You can either have the hands stacked and place the forehead on those stacked hands, or if it feels good for you, the arms can be alongside the body and you can be resting on one cheek or the other. So we'll begin by doing a little windshield wipering of the legs to warm up the hips again. So knees are 90 degrees, feet, windshield wiper, back and forth. Let this be a slow, loving movement. Connect it to the breath. And then we'll do one more breath here. Relax that now and straighten the legs out. We'll come on to the right leg for femoral nerve flossing. So we lift the knee, we bend the knee, lifting the foot and activate the foot into flexion. And as we come back down, we extend the foot to a straight leg. This is flushing the femoral nerve. So moving slowly with awareness, the slower the better. We'll do 5 rounds each side. Two more rounds. And before you come on to the other side, go ahead and do a single leg windshield wiper here. Rocking sensation again, allowing the body to know it's safe, allowing the brain to know it's safe. One more breath. And then lengthen that leg out. If you're on one cheek, go ahead and rotate your head so you're on the other cheek. Bend that knee, flex the foot. As we come down, we are extending. As we're rising, we're flexing. The breath leads the movement. 5 rounds. Once you're done with your 5 rounds, coming into the single leg windshield wiper. One more breath in the single leg windshield wiper. Lengthening the leg out long, and then slowly rolling on to the back. Let's come back into that spinal rocking for a moment. So the knees are high, feet are glued. Let's rock everything out that we've stirred up and it's ready to go. And then lift the knees high. Knees are in a 90-degree, right over the hips. We're coming into our last twist of class. Dropping both knees over to the left. Right arm is in a T. Your choice if you'd like to look out over that right arm if it feels good for your neck. We'll be here for 5 breaths. Opening up to that beautiful, beautiful light. That beautiful energy that is you. About 3 more breaths here. And when you're ready, engage the core, bring those knees back to center, restack the knees over the hips, and then allow yourself to rock on over to the opposite twist. So knees are moving to the right, maybe looking out over that left arm. Come back to that 4 count or 6 count breath, extending the exhale by a count or 2 to your inhale. Great place to use that open mouth exhale if it feels right. 2 more big breaths. Great. All right, let's roll on to the side of the body. Extend that top leg long to help the body come on up. And we're going to come into a couple restorative poses to finish off our class together. So go ahead and grab your bolsters or blankets. We're going to first come into restorative child's pose. So kind of depends on your body, on how high you want the blankets or cushions that will be supporting your trunk. Another choice here, if you have sore knees or ankles, you can place a blanket, have the ankle hanging over that rib that the blanket makes to give a little extra space for the ankle, just extra padding for the knees. Once you've found how high you want this trunk support, draw it into the inner leg so that the cushions or blankets are touching your inner thighs. And then when you're ready to come into the pose, really lengthen your spine, keep that length, and slowly melt down to your support. Coming on to one cheek. We'll be here for about 4 minutes. Come back into your long, deep breath. Come back into your intention. Quoting an unknown source. Your body is precious. It is your home and your companion through life. While you relax in this child's pose and feel the restorative effects coming into each and every cell of your body, feel into your home, your beautiful lifelong companion. 1 more minute with having the head in this direction, and then we'll turn the head to rest on the opposite cheek. Keeping the breath long. Feeling Mother Earth and how she supports you. Helping you to know within every cell of your body that you are truly supported. That you're truly loved and cherished. Give yourself 3 more breaths here. And then slowly, when you're ready with that 3rd exhale, rotate the head in the opposite direction so that you're resting on the opposite cheek. Come back to extending your exhale longer than the inhale. But even a count or two, it makes such a difference for the body. Helping the body to truly know that it is safe. Letting the brain know it is safe. Got one more minute here. Five more big, big breaths. Your breaths here. When you're ready, slowly, with loving intention, come on up into an easy sitting position. We'll pause before we go into the last restorative. Feel in before we move into that last pose. What has happened so far within your body? What shifts have you already created for you? How have you already shown your body how much you love it and care for it? All right, our last pose is a heart opener. I'm going to give you a choice here. You can either use the Babbling Brook, which is my personal favorite, which puts a little riser on top of either bolster, cushions, or blankets, and then another blanket on top of that to smooth it out. If you want to have a little bit more of an opening experience, remove that middle riser part, and that will bring the back flatter, which will create more opening in the chest. So your choice here. To come into it, you want to make sure that you feel cushions are glued to your lower back. And just like with the child's pose, you're going to lay back with your spine really long. Before we do that though, I want to give you your options for the feet, legs. Legs can be straight or they can be in supine Baddha Konasana with the feet touching and knees open wide. We don't want our joints hanging out in the air if we are doing restorative poses. So if you are choosing supine Baddha Konasana, please put another blanket or pillow underneath the knee so that it is supported. And then drop into your heart opening restorative pose. I'm going to stay seated to lead you through a body scan. So once you're there, come back to your breath. Come back to lengthening that breath out through the nose, that inhalation through the nose. Exhale through the nose, making that exhale a little longer than the inhale. So let's start by softening into the moment. If it feels comfortable, close your eyes or soften your gaze. You can also use that eye pillow if you like. Let's take a big, deep breath in together. And as you exhale, feel yourself settling into the Mother Earth's support beneath you. Allow yourself to loosen the jaw, soften the shoulders, and feel supported by the surface holding you. On your next exhale, let your attention gently land on the soles of your feet. Now begin to allow your awareness to travel from your feet up to your hips. As you do so, take in the whole lower body. Notice any sensations, contact points, tingling, warmth, or perhaps tension. If you encounter discomfort, rest in the sensation itself, not the story or judgment about it. Invite compassion from your heart center to gently blanket these areas of tightness or pain. Acknowledge them with tenderness, like comforting a friend. Simultaneously, take a moment to appreciate all this part of your body does for you. Standing, walking, dancing, or simply supporting you. Now bring your attention to your torso, your pelvis, lower back, abdomen, chest, and spine. Sense into the movement of your breath here. Pause at your heart center. Feel into its warmth. Feel into its light. If discomfort arises again, blanket it with compassion. And at the same time, marvel at all your torso does for you. Your heart beats, your lungs breathe, your vital organs work together without conscious effort. Let gratitude fill you for this beautiful synchrony. Now begin to allow your focus to shift to your arms, shoulders, elbows, wrists, and hands. Notice what's present, any tension, lightness, or ease. These hands, capable of so much, typing, creating, holding, and expressing. They deserve both compassion for their burdens and awe for their capabilities. Now bring your attention to your neck, head, and face. Notice the voice that resides in your throat, capable of expressing your unique truth. Move to the back of your head, the top of your skull, and into your brain, holding space for all of its complexity, its anxieties, creativity, and resilience. Finally, settle on your face, where so much sensory magic occurs. Bring compassion to the eyes, nose, ears, mouth, tongue, and jaw. Appreciate how these senses connect you to the world, allowing you to experience its beauty and wonder. Now begin to expand your awareness to take in your whole entire body. Sense the skin that holds you together, protecting and encapsulating your being. Now find one place in your body that feels whole, strong, or at ease. It could be a tiny toe, your heart center, or somewhere else entirely. Rest your attention there and breathe into it. Let this place be your refuge, your light, a resource to return to when the world feels heavy. And give yourself 5 more really deep, deep, loving breaths, filling your entire body with a befriending love. And when it feels right for you, go ahead and roll on to your side, pausing there for a moment, maybe even giving your head a loving touch, a touch of appreciation for this time you've given yourself. And when it feels right, rise on up into an easy sitting position. And we'll finish today's class with a neurotraining exercise. So neurotraining is a really beautiful way that we can bring in mobility and expansion without having to do too much. And it utilizes different parts of the body, the tongue, the eyes, humming, to invoke a shift within the brain and neural pathways. Today we're going to use our eyes. So with this exercise, we're going to draw our hands out in front of us and put our thumbs up as if we're hitchhiking a ride. And we're going to keep our head in one place and the eyes follow the thumbs. So to start, we're going to bring the right hand across, keep the eyes on that thumbnail, lift the thumb up, then lift the thumb down, come back to center, and then bring the hands back together. Then we'll repeat that on the left hand. So left hand comes across, up, down, and back. So let's drop before we even get into this. I want us to check real quick. What's our mobility before we start? And what's our mobility after? It's pretty interesting how much this can shift even after we've done a full class of yoga. So let's check that out right now by moving the head side to side about 3 or 4 times. Check in. How far can you move your head? What feels good for you right now? All right, now we'll come into the exercise. So we're going to do this for about 5 rounds. Neurotraining is a lot like nerve flossing. You want to be gentle with it and not do too much, especially in the beginning. The more we do it, the more we strengthen. All right, so we open our eyes, we look at the thumbnails, and then we begin with the right hand. Head stays stationary. The only thing that's moving is the hand and the eyes. Come on to the left side. Keep that breath really long. Keep that exhale a little longer than the inhale. Going back and forth at your own pace. This is called the big H. And we're stimulating the vagus nerve. So we're massaging the vagus nerve, strengthening its abilities, but we're also strengthening the cerebellum, which helps us bring imbalance into life, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. Let's do 2 more cycles each side. Maybe even open mouth exhale. Let that stuff go that's getting stirred up. And when you're ready, you can drop the hands down. Pause for a moment. Feel into the shifts. You might feel some energy in the brain, behind the eyes. We actually have 6 muscles in the eyes that connect into the vagus nerve as well as the neck muscles. So you might even feel energy flowing down the neck. Let's take a quick look. What shifted? Did you get more rotation in your neck from that? I sure did. And it trips me out every single time how much just that one move alone can do for us. All right, so let's come back into a quiet moment to close out class. Tuning back into the peace that you have created in your body through your connection, through your intention. Let's draw the hands to the heart. Feel that love, that connection of your hands to the heart. As we come to the end of this practice, take a moment to notice, how do you feel? Maybe there's a sense of ease, a release of tension, or simply a deeper connection to yourself. Carry this feeling with you into the days ahead. Let it remind you that your body is not a project to be fixed. It's a friend to be cherished. When life feels heavy or you find yourself caught in self-criticism, come back to this moment. Remember how it feels to treat yourself with kindness, and let that be your anchor. Quoting Buddha, your body is precious. It is your vehicle for awakening. Treat it with care. Let's raise our prayer hands, bringing the thumbs to connect into the point between the eyebrows, repeating to self, I think with love. Drawing those thumbs to the lips, repeating to self, I speak with love. Bringing the thumbs to the heart, connecting those thumbs into your heart. I act with love. Let's rub our hands together. Feel that love within you, all that love within every single cell of your body, sparkling in every space between. And then let those hands rise out. Spend that energy out to all those you love, all those you care about, all the animals on the planet, all the beings on this planet that deserve a little extra love. Let that expand even further out into the cosmos, touching into our guides, our ancestors, and all of those who've helped us on this path. And then draw that love and energy back to your own heart. In love and light to you. Thank you so much for being here today. Om Namah Shivaya.